Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So from this video, we will be talking about fast GraphRAG. So during one of our previous videos, we discussed about GraphRAG by Microsoft. So in this video, we will be talking about a great alternative for that, which is fast GraphRAG. So this is basically efficient in terms of the performance as well as the cost. So we will be talking about how to install Fast-GraphRAG and initialization of the graphs, how to do indexing, as well as query. So first of all, let's compare Fast-GraphRAG versus the GraphRAG by Microsoft. All right. So during the last video, we discussed with the traditional GraphRAG, we have both advantages as well as the disadvantages. So firstly, the advantages, the main advantage with the GraphRAG compared to the traditional retrieval augmented generation is that we can get answers for the abstract questions. For example, when we're asking the questions such as what are the main themes of a given story, what are the trends of our data. Likewise, for these kind of very abstract, holistic questions, we can get answers using the graph RAG. So with the traditional RAG, we cannot get these kind of abstract answers. And also we discussed the limitations. With the Microsoft Graph RAG, the main limitation was the higher cost and higher indexing time. So both of these issues come across only once, only during the initiation of the graphs, but yet this is a considerable uh, amount of cost as well as time when we are comparing it with the traditional retrieval augmented generation. So basically with the fast graph RAG, we can solve both of these issues. All right, so when we are comparing the fast graph RAG with the Microsoft Graph RAG, firstly, when talking about the retrieval approach, there is a big difference. In the Microsoft Graph RAG, we were creating hierarchical graph structures when we are doing the indexing. We were extracting the entities and then we were generating the descriptions for that, and then we clustered them and we build the communities and then the community descriptions. Likewise, we build a hierarchical structure. But in the fast graph RAG, we also do the entity extraction kind of steps. But here, especially, we are using the page rank algorithm. So with this, we can very efficiently rank as well as retrieve our documents. And also, another significant difference is with uh, which is the incremental updates. With the Microsoft Graph RAG, if we need to add more data, what we need to do is we need to re-index the entire graph. So this double the time and cost that required. But with fast graph RAG, we can simply increment the current version of index by simply adding more documents to it. So that is again one of the big difference. And also, fast graph RAG is cost efficient. There are no benchmark comparisons released as of now, but yet with some small experiments, there are some comparisons between the graph RAG and fast graph RAG, and it says fast graph RAG is 6 times cheaper than the Microsoft traditional graph RAG version. All right, so that's the key points that I wanted to mention. Now let's move to our tutorial. All right, so now let's go through the tutorial. So first step is we need to install fast GraphRag library, which is a pip package. So we can simply run this command pip install fast GraphRag. So then this will simply install fast GraphRag into your Colab environment. And next, we need to do a little bit of configurations. So first of all, what I will be doing is I will be mounting my Google Drive. because I will be reading some text which is located in my drive, as well as I will store all the graph indexes back to my Google Drive. All right. So next I'm importing this library. So this is important for us to enable asynchronous code runs in Google Colab. So if you are using your local computer, your PC, then these steps are not required. So next, I'm also setting my OpenAI API key, which I set to the credentials in the notebook. All right, so those are the configurations. Next, all we need to do is to create an input folder. So I will be creating this input folder in my current running location. And then what I will do is I will download the Christmas Carol story. So this is the same story we used for the Microsoft GraphRAG. So I will be simply running the same steps here. So I am simply creating a new folder called input, and then I will be downloading and saving this Christmas carols txt file there. So when you are customizing this code, simply you can put any document that you want in this input folder. All right. So next, we need to initialize the Fast-GraphRAG. We are importing Fast-GraphRAG from the Fast-GraphRAG, importing the GraphRAG. Then you have to specify these two things, the domain and the example queries. So this is really important when we are comparing this with Microsoft version of GraphRag, because we had no flexibility there to customize our graph. But here we can provide a domain as well as example queries that we will be asking from this graph index. For example, as the domain, as we know, this is the Christmas carols story book. So here as the domain that I am giving, analyze this story and identify the characters, focus on how they interact with each other, the locations they explore, and their relationships. So you can simply customize this. And also when you are providing your example, make sure to change this domain description. And also make sure to add some of the queries that you may ask from your graph. So here, make sure to include more abstract versions, because that's the whole purpose of GraphRag. So here I have put what is the significance of Christmas Eve in Christmas Carol, and how does the setting of Victorian London contribute to the story's themes, likewise different abstract questions. So this does not need to be exactly the questions that you are asking, just put some examples so that it will be more aligning with your expectations. And also you need to provide this one, previously I forgot to mention this. So the entity types is again something we can configure. So this will helpful for the initial prompts that are extracting the entities. So here I have given character, animal, place, object, activity, event. So again, you can provide your own entities in this place as well. All right, so next we have to create a GraphRag object. So it is done like this, and also provide a working directory. So I will use it as output folder. So if this is not available, it will automatically create this folder and put all the graph indexes there. And the domain, example queries, and the entity type. So these are the things that you need to provide. Right. So next, the indexing. Simply open up the Christmas carols text file and simply use graph.insert command to put this story to the created GraphRag object. So this will ingest all this data, and it will take a little bit of time, comparatively much lower time compared to the Microsoft GraphRag, and it will extract the data and it will build the graph index. Okay, so once the graph is constructed, we can straight away query it. So compared to the Microsoft GraphRag, there are no local and global versions of search. There is only one query, which is powered by the PageRank, which is really efficient. So what we need to do is the same GraphRag object that you created, you can call it the GraphRag dot query and then forward your question there. It will send the response back, so you can fetch the response from it like this. So here I'm asking some factual questions as well as some abstract questions. For both of the cases, it gives very good answers. For example, here I'm asking who is the main character in this story. It says Ebenezer Scrooge as the answer. And also here I'm asking who is Scrooge and what are his main relationships. Then it provides the correct answer again. And then here I'm asking more abstract ones. How does the Christmas Carol address the theme of social inequality? And here I'm asking what are the main themes of this this story? So again, it provides a very good answers. They are lengthy answers as well. Provide a very good overview of the entire story. All right, so that's all I wanted to cover from this tutorial. Here we discussed about the fast graph rack. It's a simple pip install, and then you can put all your data into an input folder and provide it as the input for the graph indexing. And also you can provide the sample queries, entities, as well as domain parameters when you are initializing the graph rack, so that you can customize this graph to get the better quality results. So finally, the querying is so straightforward. You can simply run dot query command to get the answers. So thank you everybody for watching this video, and make sure to press the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thanks everyone, and see you from another video.